Well, Chinese President Xi Jinping is in Moscow for the 80th anniversary commemorations of the end of World War II. President Xi is expected to sign numerous agreements during his 4-day trip to Russia. East Asia correspondent Kathleen Calderwood is in Taipei, and she says President Xi's trip will be an opportunity to strengthen ties with its close ally amid frosty relations with the US.
Well, look, these two countries, these two leaders will, of course, be seeking to show the strength of the friendship between their two enormous countries, which are, of course, neighbours and share a huge border, and they'll really be pushing to kind of present themselves and this partnership as one that can protect the international order, a peaceful one, of course, on the backdrop of an erratic White House. Now, Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin have continually emphasised the strength of their relationship for years now. There have been many opportunities for China in particular to step back from its relationship with Russia, particularly since the invasion of Ukraine, and it has not done so. So really it will be looking to present this partnership, both Russia and China, as sort of safe partners to work with, of course at a time where we're seeing the White House be very erratic, but also punishing some of its own allies.
And as I understand it, Kathleen, there will be separate discussions to be held between Mr. Xi and Mr. Putin today. What's likely to be discussed?
Well, look, they've already had their first one-on-one meeting. It was a relatively elaborate ceremony that took place in the Kremlin's St. George Hall. We saw the two men cross this very cavernous hall towards each other, both walking along a long red carpet that had gold trim on it, meeting in the middle, greeting each other very warmly, as they tend to do. They have many times said that they are close friends, and then stand there beside flags of their two countries. Now, in terms of the readouts or the reporting on this in Russian state media, Vladimir Putin thanked Xi Jinping for coming to Russia to mark the 80th anniversary of the victory over Nazi Germany in Europe. He announced that he would like to visit China again on a state visit. He's had several state visits over the last few years, keeping in mind that China is the most important place he really can visit overseas right now, because there is an international criminal court warrant out for Vladimir Putin, and he's not exactly welcome in a lot of different parts of the world at the moment too. So he expressed that he'd like to visit China again. He said that their relations are continuing to grow, that they are mutually beneficial, and said that they would be working on implementing their various bilateral agreements. Now, Xi Jinping, he in turn said that he was very happy to be in Russia. He said that they were ready to defend the truth about World War II, again positioning the two countries there as sort of peacemakers. Really, they'll be wanting to remind people of the role that both Russia and China played in World War II, of course both fighting with the Allied forces. But he was also really emphasising that this is a friendship between the two countries that was forged in blood, that both countries lost many soldiers during the Second World War, contributing to that victory over Germany and Japan at the time. So there'll be lots for them to talk about. Likely they will talk about the war in Ukraine. Vladimir Putin has announced a ceasefire for a couple of days while these Victory Day commemorations are ongoing, but it's unclear if that will hold. It's worth noting that while China has continued to advocate for an end to the war in Ukraine, saying that it's willing to be a negotiator in bringing about an end to the war in Ukraine, you've seen these many visits between Putin and Xi Jinping, very warm embraces between the two men. In comparison, fairly limited communication between the Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky and Xi Jinping, certainly in comparison to the frequent contact between Xi and Putin.
Yes, you've spoken about the issue of the war in Ukraine between China and Russia. What about Donald Trump and his global tariffs?
Well, no doubt that will likely come up. Of course, there will be other leaders there at these commemorations. So I believe the leader of Vietnam will be there, for example. So that'll be another global leader that Xi Jinping will probably be wanting to meet with. This visit, of course, comes on the back of Xi Jinping doing a bit of a tour around Southeast Asia on the back of Donald Trump announcing those tariffs on every country in the world almost, albeit with the sort of stay that he gave most countries barring China. But it's likely that Xi Jinping will really want to cast China as the country standing up to Donald Trump. As I said before, we're seeing an erratic White House, one where Donald Trump is making threats against his own allies, punishing his own allies with tariffs. So, you know, Xi Jinping no doubt will be trying to make the most of this opportunity to meet with some of those leaders that he may not get to meet or visit in other circumstances, to present, you know, China as a stable partner, one that is not going to coerce its business partners through trade, albeit, you know, their track record might not suggest that. However, yeah, he really will probably be seeking to press the flesh to meet a few of these people and really, you know, I guess push the amount of business that can be done with Beijing, but of course the many minerals and things like that they process, the monopoly that they've got over that, over some of those rare earth minerals, which are so essential to manufacturing modern technology.
Okay, East Asia correspondent Kathleen Calderwood, many thanks for that update.
Thanks, Girish.